Morning, y'all. So I left off mid-tour leave at near the end of tour, early December. Came back. Did not have the luxury of flying commercial this time. C-130, net seating, earplugs, the whole way. 12 hours, 16 hours, however long it was. It was super long. Try to sleep. Get an MRE. And returned to Camp Boom. And a few weeks later, on Christmas Day, Christmas evening, we were having our normal meeting. We had a meeting. That was normal. And we heard an explosion, and we actually heard gravel and stuff hit around our little... We had a little tent. I was undercover, but it was a tent. And then we heard another explosion and realized what was going on. It was another mortar attack, which was frequent. It had been a while. So as our staff sergeant told us to stay put and ran off to do what staff sergeants do. I didn't know at the time. The rest of us went and got our flak jackets because not all of us had IVAS at the time. Flak jacket replacement. And Tupper and I went right in to where there was smoking debris. I don't know what Tupper did. Clearly I was not focused. Or at least not focused on him. I went into they had a sandbag barricade shelter. There we go. Sandbag shelter. And I went in to see if everybody was okay in there. And there was like a private and a lieutenant. They were fine, hunkered down. So I left. And right behind them, there were connexes that were converted into housing units. AC, lights, power, all that fun stuff. One of them had been hit. And so I went over and started digging through the rubble with everybody else. And we found a soldier in there. And we pulled him out, and we needed to find a makeshift something to carry him on, a stretcher. Words are not with me today. So somebody brought us an opened up cot. The ends weren't put on it, but it would do. So we got him up on there. I had to secure his had to secure his head. And when I pulled my hand back, I was covered in blood from the waist down and up to my mid-forearm. Even now, sometimes I can still feel it. Some things just don't leave. So we loaded him in the back of a Humvee. And I remember one of the sergeants from my unit was talking to him. You're going to be all right. We're going to get you to help. And I remember thinking to myself, I don't think he hears you. But, he was right to continue to talk to him. Not saying he wasn't. So, taking him to medevac, we had to, there used to be a road between the two halves of the camp. And for unknown reasons, they had put a roll of sea wire across it to keep people from using it. Now was the time where we wanted to use it. So the Humvee tried to run over it, but it got tangled up in the transmission. So they had to back in another Humvee on the other side. And we had to unload him and then load him back into the Humvee. At that point, that Humvee took off and took the soldier to, the medics, while the other Humvee got untangled back to where it needed to be, and me and one other soldier hooked up that sea wire and unhooked it and opened up that pathway again. Come to find out later on, he didn't survive. One other soldier lost his life that day. Christmas is not quite the same. But I've surrounded myself with a family that enjoys it, and it's not the same as it was. It's different. It's not like I don't look forward to Christmas anymore, but there's always that lingering memory and those lingering feelings behind that day now. That's what happened Christmas Day 2003. The rest of that year was honestly kind of a blur. I know I had to end up burning my uniforms just for, biohazard, my uniform that I was wearing. And after I returned back to my sleeping unit, my cot, which was in a little rundown building with a metal door, somebody, I can't remember who, lit a cigarette for me, while Stevens poured a canteen of water over my hands while I washed the blood off my hands. And, of course, Tupper and I got scolded for not listening. But also at the same time, we got to thank you for not listening. And, did what we did. So, it after that, life went on, as it does in Iraq in 2003, and we made it back stateside March 28th, 2004. So my mid-tour leave was like a 3/4, 4/5 tour leave. And I remember hearing about, hey, we're going home. I'll tell you about that next time. I'll talk to you guys later.